Second quarter deliveries fell year on year, and they missed estimates, but not by as much as analysts had feared. Joining us now, George Gianarikas, Canaccord Genuity analyst in Philippo, is also with us. Great to have you guys. George, I want to start off with you because, this was better than feared, but at the same time, it doesn't lift the burden that Tesla has to fill in terms of hitting delivery numbers in order to make the annual number by the end of the year. They've got a big weight to lift at this point, and at the same time, they've got the EV tax credit going away. How do you foresee Tesla hitting those numbers if you do?
It'll be a hard slog for them to hit those numbers, particularly, as you mentioned, with the EV tax credit going away. The thing that we're thinking about for the back half of the year is a couple of, or maybe a few new models that they've promised. It was recently disclosed in their impact report that they expect new, more affordable models to come by the end of the year. So that should help. But your point is valid. I mean, we have to see EVs get back to growth, hopefully by the end of the year, maybe in 2026. But it's a key part, obviously, of the story. But investors seem to be relying upon excitement around robotaxi and Optimus to drive the stock here.
Yeah, and it's interesting, Phil, because robotaxi, for as many fans and influencers were in those taxis riding around posting about it, there are also some misses when it came to some of those rides. Elon Musk has also promised a lower cost vehicle, which may also spur some excitement later on this year. How do you see that side of the equation playing out, Phil?
Well, let's start first off with robotaxi. This is how Tesla operates now. Tesla is very much about, we're going to be out on social media. We're going to have the influencers out there. We're going to have our supporters, including those analysts who are very bullish about us, talk about how great robotaxi and our autonomous vehicle technology is. The reality is they have launched a very small launch in Austin. Now here comes the challenge. You have got to show, A, that you can not only do it consistently and safely. It doesn't matter how many times you post on social media, but if you can do that, and then if you can expand on a fairly regular basis, then you will start to see people really get behind the robotaxi and AV story at Tesla, more than the core believers. The core believers are always going to be there. They're not going to leave. They would have to be shown something dramatically different in order to give up on Tesla. And then with regard to the more affordable model, Melissa, look, I think everybody understands that's what's holding back EV sales and will continue to hold back EV sales in the U.S. After the tax credit goes away, the $7,500 tax credit goes away. You need to bring down the price of EVs. You get it down consistently in that $35,000 to $45,000 range, and not just a couple of models, then I think you will start to see EVs take off a bit.
Right, and that's a good point in terms of offsetting the loss of the tax credit with a lower price model. But George, when it comes to ultimate valuation, Tesla, blue sky sort of valuations, the most bullish analysts rely on robotaxi, autonomous vehicles, Optimus, all these things that are not the auto business, right, for the most bullish forecast. So how important for you is the working of the auto business when it's really these other areas that are not quantifiable right now, not commercialized right now for that matter, in order to drive the valuation higher?
I'm a pretty meat and potatoes kind of analyst, so I just try to look at earnings. And right now, before they report earnings, we're about $9 in non-GAAP EPS in 2027. We'll see how those have to be adjusted when they report, but you should put a healthy multiple, in our opinion, on that number. It's going to take a lot to get there. They have to return to growth in EVs. They have to get margins better. But if you can get to $9 plus or minus in 2027, and then have these dreams of more Optimus by 2030, additional robotaxi miles by 2030, you can sort of justify the stock here and get to even higher levels if those businesses start to take off. So we're all about earnings. We don't really do some of the parts valuations, but if you can get to that kind of earnings number and something even better than that in 2030, then I think the stock works.